Okay, we're live. I think I'm streaming on X as well, if I manage to not mess up the setup. I also made it so that people can actually chat, even if they don't have a blue check mark, which is actually the default. Some of you were upset last time that I forbade people without blue check mark from speaking, and I'm like, look, it's just the way that the system is designed, right? It was the default, but now I actually fixed it. So, yeah. Anyway, right, we're going to be talking about Short Fat Otaku, which is a very interesting chap. It's not me picking on him as if it's something personal. It's like, look, he usually gets upset when I make a video response to him. I don't know why, because I make video responses to Destiny, to Asmongold, to Academic Agent. Like, I usually interact with a lot of content creators if they talk about something that's interesting. But for some reason, whenever I talk about Short Fat Otaku, he gets upset. Okay, it is what it is. You're a public person, man. And I'm not, like, picking on his sexuality, on his... I mean... I am picking on the fact he chooses not to have children, but that's another thing. I'm not making fun of personal issues, right? Like, I'm making fun of his public statements, so I do not understand why he gets so upset. But anyway, right, so let's see what he tweeted, because I've noticed a lot of his tweets are very basic bitch. In other words, he has kind of become like CNN. What I mean by this is that if you watch CNN or you watch Destiny is actually a lot better than CNN, right? If you watch Destiny, you kind of predict what Sleepy Dev is going to be talking about, which is very interesting. So, okay, let me see if I can find the post where he decided to pick on a right-wing meme. That's something that he did. And as I'm scrolling through, I noticed that he's got like this really weird, unhinged obsession with VTubers. Like, he really despises VTubers, and I think I know why. It may sound weird from me, but I do think he's a misogynist. I know, like, this accusation was floated around, but, like, not in the sense of Andrew Tate misogyny, in the sense that he hates female streamers. I genuinely believe this with 100% of my heart. I think he hates female streamers. And the reason that I do think he does that, I believe it's because he thinks it's unfair. When I was playing D&D with him, he made the statement that all female streamers... are looting them. Not necessarily that they're looting themselves. The audience of female streamers are simps, right? So, like, he generally cannot perceive the fact that you can have a woman that just talks and people listen because she has something interesting to say. Like, no, he believes that it's because they're simps. So my question would be, like, if Dev was born a woman and his life was literally the same and he was actually streaming and maybe, you know, using a female avatar rather than his face, like, would his audience be simps or would they listen because they're interested in him? Anyway, right. So the reason I'm saying this is because he made the post against Project Melody. Let me see if I can get it on the screen here. Right. So Project Melody. Project Melody is also a very interesting character. I remember in like 2019, early 2020, right-wingers were parading Project Melody around for putting real-life cam whores in their place. Yeah, like, basically what happened in 2019, 2020, right-wingers were two separate groups, I think. You had, like, the Christian nationalist right-wingers that were usually banned from Twitter, right? Like, Jack Dorsey would crack down on them hard. And so most of them were on Gab. And Gab was, like, the anti-porn website. Like, that's where they radicalized themselves. It's, like, anti-sports, anti-porn, very racially oriented. While Twitter had right-wingers, but it was the right-wingers that Twitter allowed to survive. The right-winger on Twitter were the ones that were libertarian mostly, live and let live. Fuck the left because the left is trying to control me. But they weren't Gab type of right-wingers either. Like, they weren't Christian right-wingers. They were like, I'm right-winger because I don't want taxes. I'm right-winger because I don't want the government to lock me up in my house during COVID. I'm right-winger because I don't want all of my entertainment, my movies, and my music to be dominated by leftist ideology. I'm right-winger because I don't want my children to get indoctrinated in schools, right? So it was kind of like that. I mean, those were a lot of the people that were actually left-leaning on some economic issues, but they were very right-wing on social issues. And those people, when they saw Project Melody, it was hilarious because, yes, like Project Melody just got banned from Twitch. And she went into on Chaturbate and became #1. And this horrified all of the cam girls. Like, what Dev is saying about cam whores in this particular situation, he's not talking about, like, women that are streaming. Like, no, those were, like, unironically, women that would masturbate online or that, would basically, like, get money from people in order to give them their fantasies, So, anyway, Project Melody goes there, and she becomes #1 on the site, and everyone is livid, and those women were like, no, she's actually a guy, and it's like, the reality is, like, she didn't really steal their audience, like, she was coming from Twitch with Twitch's audience, right? But yes, like, now right-wingers, at least, the ones from Gab that came on Twitter and created the Great Unification, they do not view Project Melody as being a champion of the right, I suppose. To be fair, she was never a right-winger. Like, there were other VTubers like Kirsche, like Pippa, that are more right-wing oriented. This particular chick, not so much. Let me just open the chat here because I accidentally closed it. And then we can talk about something else that Dev said, which is more interesting. Okay, now we're back. So, I got the message from SRC Maker. Oh, so you are talking about my version of right-wing. I guess that's why I stayed. Twitter until I got banned for my pandemic takes. You got banned from Twitter for... Can you not go back? Like, I'm pretty sure Elon Musk allowed people to go back. You should try... Actually, hold on. You are on Twitter now. Like, I saw you on Twitter. You came back through the grace of Elon, right? Dev reacts so much when you do response videos because he tried to make his channel and Discord a safe space echo chamber. I mean, probably, I don't know. I mean, I'm usually excited when someone makes a video about me because then I can respond to that. But, like, again, like, wasn't this what YouTube was about? Like, you would constantly make video responses and shit? Like, I don't mind if Dev disagrees with me. Go ahead, make a video. I'm just... correction, she started on Chaturbate and later moved to Twix. Nox was the one that people that helped her along the way. Okay, so maybe I got my story wrong? Like, I'm pretty sure that she was famous somewhere else and then moved to Chaturbate. Like, I'm fairly certain because I know at the time she brought her audience from somewhere. That's why she got to #1. But anyway, right, let's talk about this. This one is very fascinating, right? And you can see how upset Dev is. And I generally think Dev is in a bad place. And I'm not saying this as a gaslighter or anything, but I used to know him. He was calm, right? Even when the left was dunking on him and there were boards on cow and kiwi farms, like, he was calm. But now, like, I feel that there is this weird anger within him. And you're going to see what I'm talking about when we look at the actual posts here. Yeah, this is like, literally, like, he is very angry. He curses all the time. And it's fine to curse, right? And insult, but, like, you do it as a funny thing. But, like, no, he's genuinely, like, cursing. Like, you can feel the venom pouring out, Anyway. A normal person, so the meme is this, and this is a very old meme, right? Like, it's something that most people have shared at some point. It's something that most people agree with because it's true. If you think that this meme is false, you can use the kryptonite of the Reddit brain, terminally online individual that doesn't try to argue in order to understand something, but tries to argue to win, right? Their kryptonite is AI. Like, I'm not kidding, right? Because when you bring a ruler, like a measurement system, to a completely opinion-based argument, you derail their fun. And what I mean by this, it's a pattern recognition machine, right? Like, this is what the AI is. And you can have so many to pick from. You can use ChatGPT, you can use Grok, you can use Gemini. Like, it's not like the AI has to be of one sort. And ask them, like, is this meme true? Right? So this meme says, why are you so far right politically? And the man says, because I'm a normal person from 1995. Now, you can ask the AI in a way so that you don't actually nudge it to any point. You can say, if we brought a person from 1995 in 2026 and applied his actual politics on immigration, environmentalism, how would people consider him? Right? Like, would people consider him an extremist? Something like that. Right, like what he thinks about Muslims, what he thinks about black people, like seriously, the reason that I know this meme is true is because we actually saw what Joe Biden was saying about the concrete jungle. Like, we know Joe Biden's opinions on black people. We know what Obama thought on immigration. We know what Hillary Clinton thought on immigration. Right, like, these are not secrets. We know that Donald Trump used to be a Democrat. Right? So, like, the meme stands because back in the day, even leftist politicians were like right-winger today. Right-winger today, despite the exaggerated claims, they are not fascists. Like, right-wingers today are not more extremists than right-wingers used to be in 1995. Like, anyway, right. But let's see what Dev has to say, right? So, a normal person from 1995 didn't want USAID dismantled. Oh my goodness. No, not the leftist grift. I do notice that Dev has like an obsession with protecting leftist grifts. There are right-wing grifts as well, by the way. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, for example, the president pulling the rug on billions of dollars for himself. If this is true, this would be a right-wing grift. Like, I view the world as grift happens. The question is like, how much, But USAID was a clear-cut leftist grift. And I know it was a leftist grift because I have friends from Romania that used USAID to grift. Right? Like the idea that it wasn't a grift means you're just being disingenuous. How did they use USAID to grift? Well, they actually knew which were the people that knew the people from the United States that gave the grants. Right? So, like, you knew the guy that knows the guy. And then you came up with a project like we're selling condoms to Africa or some shit like that. You get funding for it. You speak with the guy that gives you the receipts. So you don't actually buy the packages, but you still go to Africa. You take a couple of pictures there, right, that you delivered the condoms. And then you cash in, right? And the thing with the condoms is that they're perishable. It's like, okay, you delivered 2,000 condoms to Africa. Who can check? Right? And you just have a couple of pictures that you went there. Look, you sold it. You have the receipts, right? Like, you got... It was a grift. It was, like the people organizing it, like the people allowing it would get paid under the table, right? Like, they know the guy that knows the guy. Everyone benefits, and it's taxpayer money. Now, the reason that I'm saying that Dev enjoys protecting leftist grift is that he went ass mad on Nick Shirley. And, I watched the video. There was no problem there. There was absolutely no problem there with Nick Shirley. And it turns out that there was actually a problem. There was actually an investigation. Yeah, but how did you know? Well, I mean, look, Dev, it's like you got to take it on faith that maybe you just don't see patterns and other people see them better than you. But he defended the Learning Center, right? The Learning Center. So, like, Dev liked the Learning Center, and now Dev also likes USAID. Let's talk a little bit about did people from 1995 want USAID? Well, first of all, like, nobody voted on it, right? Like, there wasn't a presidential candidate or Congress making a campaign. Vote me for office and I will gather your taxpayer money and I will spend in order to give Africa more gays. Like, no one did that. Like, this is something that appears, right? Now, here's the thing. I find it difficult to believe that if you go in 1995 and you speak with an American from Detroit and you ask him, it's like, okay, so let me get this straight. Like, you go home, right? And the government takes money away from your daughter and then gives them to Africans. Like, are you okay with that? Like the man would probably be a little bit upset. He would be like, no, I wish they would give more money to Detroit, right? Am I wrong? Like, most people are okay with paying taxes. The question is, like, how much taxes are we paying? And I think, like, most people would say we should pay the bare minimum taxes. Like, if it's possible not to be taxed more, like, you shouldn't be taxed more, right? And when you find out that your money is being taken and given to other people that aren't even grateful to you, like, that's another problem, right? If I go on the street and I give money to a beggar, like, at least I know that the beggar is grateful to me, at least in that moment, right? But if someone else takes the money from me and then gives it to the beggar is not grateful to me. He may even have spite and contempt towards me, which is what usually happens. If you go to nations that receive aid from the United States, you would notice that a lot of them have nothing but spite and disdain towards the United States. The entire welfare system is built on this, right? Like, for example, let's say I would be a Canadian, right? I choose to have kids. Dev doesn't have kids. So what happens? It's like, well, money is taken away from me and my child in order to be given to the government so that Dev can have a pension. Now, you can say, well, hold on a little bit. Dev is paying taxes too. Sure, but the system is pay as you go. That's how it's designed, right? Otherwise, if it wasn't pay as you go, then, well, they would just allow Dev to put money in the bank. And when he is old, he would just take the money, right? But, like, that's not how the system works. The system works by taking money away from me, right? Pay as you go. And then it's given to the people that are alive today. And then when my kid ends up working, he is paying for Dev, right? So, like, I'm paying for the elderly now. Like, every time that I'm being taxed, all the elderly people today get to live because of me and people like me. And when I'm old, my kid is going to have to spend money in order to keep Dev afloat, right? If my kid was Canadian. Okay, that's fine. But, like, how is it fair, though? Right? Because the system requires people to have children in order to work. Like, if you want a welfare state, you need to have children. And it's okay if one person makes the decision not to have children. Like, that's fine. But when a lot of people make the decision not to have children, then the system collapses. It becomes a Ponzi scheme, doesn't it? Right? And the thing is, like, the people without children, they have nothing but contempt and disdain towards people like me. So how is it fair? How is it fair that money is taken away from me, it's given to other people, but not by me, by the government, and then those people get to be loyal to the government rather than, you know, be loyal to me, because I'm working for them. Yeah, so let me just read some more super chats really quick. We got SRC Maker. Check what I just DM'd you. You don't even have to type it. Just, is Dev correct about normal person from 1995? And screen cap that tweet. Hold on, let me see. You're a New Yorker, right? So let's see. Dev is not fully correct. The meme captures a real sense of cultural and political shift. Many mainstream 1995 views. Skepticism of open borders, emphasis on law and order, concerns about government overreach have been relabeled as far right as part of today's discourse. Yeah, I mean, obviously. Now, the only thing that Dev does have a point, and I'll concede this, right? It's like people from 1995 did not want NATO dismantled. But the fact that Dev can't separate political conversation, like political talk, versus like real intention is wild to me. Absolutely fucking wild. He actually needs to look at what would take for NATO to be dismantled. Even if you have a president that would say, I want to dismantle NATO, right? He wouldn't be able to just do it overnight. Like, it requires vote in Congress. It requires, I think it's like a period of 2 years where you announce that you're leaving. During that time, another, you know, like you can have another vote, right? You have the midterms, and you may actually lose the majority you have in Congress. I mean, it's very difficult for America to actually pull out of NATO. And most people from MAGA probably don't want America to pull out of NATO. Like, that's another thing, right? Just because Donald Trump is using it as a leverage, like he's reminding Europe, it's like, hey, we pay for you. Like, you have security because we are paying. We are the taxpayer. You need to be fucking grateful. You fucking pieces of shit. Like, you constantly act like you're kings of the world. You don't have an army. You have our army. Pay your fucking share. Which is something that Obama told Europe. Which is something that George Bush told Europe. And when Trump is saying it's like, pay your share or we're out, Dev is like, oh no, you can't be out. You must be a slave to the European Union. You have to pay. You must pay. Like, what is wrong with you? You have always paid. It's liberal. It's like, Dev, no. No, like, the Americans are right. And I'm from Europe. Like, I'm telling you, they're absolutely right. Like, Europe has to pay its fucking share. And they have to be grateful as well, right? So wait, you have J.D. Vance saying, how about you guys also take our values, right? Because, like, we're giving you our military. You also need to take our values. Is it too much to ask? Like, that's all. You know, this is what the deal is. You get American protection, you have our values. Because otherwise, what happens is that when the United States wants to bomb a country in the Middle East, which is their prerogative to do as a democracy, they can bomb whomever the fuck they want as an empire, right? The United Kingdom goes, well, no, because we took a lot of people from the Middle East and we also imported Middle Eastern problems. So, like, yes, we are part of NATO, but, like, we're not going to let you use your bases. And this causes strife, right? Wouldn't it be better if the UK had America values? I'm just saying, I don't know where Dev stands on the Palestinian question. I know where he stands on the Russian question. Yes. But on the Palestinian question, I generally don't know. Nor do I give a shit, because I'm looking at from the interests of the taxpayer in the US, right? Like, the interest of the taxpayer in the US is that their bases get to be used. That's why they have American bases in England. No, because England goes like, nah. If the United States wants to bomb Iran because the United States wants to, well, the allies that are benefiting from the US military and not even paying 5% should actually comply. Or, if they don't want to comply, that's fine, but the bases get to be removed, right? Isn't that normal? Like, isn't that how a business deal would make? Like, for some fucking reason, where we're talking about nations, it's completely separate than what two corporations would do. Seriously, imagine how two companies would act, right? Like, if you have a contract between two companies, and it's like, okay, so we're giving you our, our IT department, right? We're lending you our IT department. We're lending you this and this and that. All you gotta do is pay us, and in return, when we need your marketing team, you make it available for us, right? And then the other company doesn't fulfill its obligations. Well, doesn't the contract get to be terminated then? I mean, let's be serious and talk like adults. Anyway, regardless, right, so NATO dismantled isn't going to happen. It's complete fiction. At least, I mean, maybe it will happen in like 20 years. I don't fucking know. But, like, right now, under the Trump administration, not gonna happen. I want to show you something else that's interesting, right? So here you have a guy saying in 1995, a normal person didn't know and wouldn't have believed the stuff USAID got up to. No one wants NATO dismantled. The other members need to chip in. The Supreme Court did not grant the president absolute immunity. What billions? So Dev responds, you got mind raped by social media about USAID. Do you know, like, first of all, the guy just asked the question, and Dev is immediately, instead of answering the question, you got mind raped. Do you know when Dev told me that I got mind raped by social media? When I said that there's inflation. And the reason I said there's inflation is because it was a worldwide inflation after the way that the world handled the pandemic, right? And this was everywhere, not just in the United States. But, like, because the United States printed a lot of money and because the dollar is the Federal Reserve and, like, a lot of nations use the dollar, I mean, the inflation went all over the place, right? And I was pointing it out, there's an inflation. And David's like, no, it's Twitter. You spend too much on Twitter. It's like, motherfucker. Like, I order my food, right? Like, we can look at the bill. I have my receipts. I don't fucking need a guy with a chart. If you show me a guy with a chart that claims there is no inflation, then the guy with the chart is wrong. Because I actually go to the supermarket. And I think, like, he was saying, well, yeah, but, like, maybe you go, you know, like, maybe other people go to other supermarkets. It's like, fucking Dev, like, we live in a globalist society. It's like, what do you think? It's like, in other supermarkets, everything is cheap. But, like, I just happen to live in a supermarket that's 3 times as expensive. I remember Discordia, like a chick that Sargon used to employ. And she was livid as well, because, like, she was buying nappies for her babies. And she was like, what the fuck? You know, like, seriously, is this guy living on planet Earth? Like, how can he not notice? But this was like what David Pacman was saying at the time. This was what Destiny was saying at the time. This was what the Biden administration was saying at the time. And so Dev was unironically thinking that there is no inflation. And the economy is booming. And Bidenomics. Jesus. This is another one that I also love. The president to be granted absolute immunity by SCOTUS. I mean, the way that it's framed is like Donald Trump just went into SCOTUS and it's like, hey, I want absolute immunity. And SCOTUS went, you got it, boss. And this is only for Donald Trump, right? So like next time there's a Democrat president, he doesn't get immunity. Or, you know what I think, Dev? Oh my goodness. When you have the Democrats winning the election, and they will win the election, right? Like at some point, because you can't have like the same party winning over and over. I probably assume that after Trump, the Democrats will win. Like, I generally think so. If not, like, you can get a J.D. Vance, and maybe after you'll have Democrats. But at some point, right, you will have Democrats. And I'm pretty sure the Democrats will say, yes, the president having absolute immunity, that's wrong. We will remove it. Like, let's repeal it. They can literally pass a law, right? Like, the thing that happens is that the Supreme Court legislates the current law. But, like, that doesn't stop Congress from making a new law. And they can say, well, under this new law, right, like, we, the people, believe that the the president shouldn't have absolute immunity. Right? Like, they can make a constitutional amendment as well. I mean, look, if the Democrats are in power, right? Anyway, here's where it's retarded. First of all, the SCOTUS did not say that Donald Trump has absolute immunity. Like, if Donald Trump runs over someone with a car, he goes to court. Like, he still is a citizen, right? If he shoots someone, that's not absolute immunity. What SCOTUS has said is that while he is doing his presidential acts, and it's not about Trump, it's about the president of the United States, because, like, okay, now it's Trump, and we have, like, Trump derangement syndrome. But there's going to be another guy after him, right? Maybe a Democrat. Whomever is president, what they're saying is that that person, while being president, while executing his presidential attributes, he is receiving immunity. The thing is, this was always the case, right? Like when Obama drone striked American citizens. I think he drone striked a 16-year-old. He drone striked civilians, non-combatants, right? At which point did people thought, oh yeah, I mean, the cops are going to go in and arrest Obama. Like, no one thought that, right? Because even though he is the commander-in-chief and was directly responsible for those operations, nobody arrested him. Right? I mean, and nobody even thought about arresting him over that. Now, imagine a police officer does it, right? Like, imagine you have a mass shooter, let's say, right? Like a mass shooting event. And the police flies a drone into him and murders like 4 or 5 other people that happens to be around. What do you think would be the consequence of that? Well, the police chief would immediately get arrested, right? And people would start looking up the chain. Who authorized it? Who ordered it, right? People wouldn't care that, oh, it was a mass shooter. But if you do it to a terrorist, and the terrorist happens to be at a funeral, and you kill, like, his children and everyone else that's there, I mean, that's just collateral damage, right? So, like, don't tell me that the president doesn't have absolute immunity. He fucking does. He always did. Obama had it. George Bush had it. Trump has it. Whoever is going to be next is going to have it. But, like, let's assume, for the sake of the argument, that he wouldn't have it, right? Let's assume that the president could actually be arrested for the shit he signs. Do you know what would happen? It's not even rocket science. It's so fucking basic, bitch. Okay, the president gets arrested. The vice president pardons him. There you fucking go. Right? Like, literally. But, like, the president can also pardon himself, Dev. Like, there is nothing preventing the president from pardoning himself. Again, like, the fact that, oh, SCOTUS said this, and because CNN got outraged, all of a sudden we have to get outraged as well. We always knew this is to be the case. And by the way, this is true for any nation state. Like, there is no nation state. There's no Germany, France, the UK, in all these places, the leader of the military is allowed to have immunity, because otherwise you paralyze the state. It's not rocket science, right? Like, imagine this. You have a crisis, and you need to make a decision, and you're the president, and you know that you can get arrested for the decision you made. then nobody makes decisions. Like, they will maximize safety. Now, that may be a good thing. I generally don't know. Like, I really don't know what it would be like, right? Probably a good thing. But I guess, like, the countries that don't have this, like, imagine you have a country like Iran or China, and they don't have this. Like, for them, the supreme leader does have immunity. Well, that country can just bully you with impunity. They can bully your military. They can do whatever the fuck they want because they know you're not going to do anything back because your president is now a coward. And he is a coward because he can generally get arrested, right? Again, but I guess, like, we have to play partisan politics, right? Instead of imagining what the world where your system is enacted looks like. Insane Linguist, thank you for the 50 Chechens. Kazakhans. Dev also wants to pack the courts, only to the Democrats' favor, of course. But yeah, I mean, this is why I keep saying, like, see, this is what Dev doesn't understand. It's like, yes, I think Trump should agree with you. He should pack the courts right now. Like, right now. Like, he should look at Dev's video and Trump should be like, you know what? No, that's fair. Let's put, like, 9 more judges. The thing is, like, okay, if you pack the court, it's not like, okay, let me explain to you why they don't. Because it's not that difficult, right? You currently have, like, what, 9 judges. Okay, let's say you pack the court and you have, like, 15. What's to stop the Republicans the next time they're in to add 16 more judges? And then you just destroy the institution. Because every time, like, someone comes into power, they just add more judges in. If you pack the courts once, you break the taboo. If you break the taboo, then it's actually mandatory for everyone that comes in to pack the court. The current system, sure, like right now it's towards the Republican side. But those judges aren't immortal. Like, eventually you may actually get Democrats that put their judges in. It's such a ridiculous thing. It's like, my fucking God, where does he get these things? Like, does he get them from Destiny? You know, like, these are people that live in the now, and they can't imagine what it's going to be like 5 or 10 years down the road. It's like, oh, well, we packed the courts. Yeah, okay, you packed them. Congratulations, right? And then the next guy packs them. And then the Supreme Court just empowers the president even more. The thing is, like, when you have 9 judges, you can still negotiate, right? And not to mention, like, what actual decisions has the Supreme Court did that you would consider to be, like, detrimental, like other Supreme Courts wouldn't have done? I mean, the only one is the one with the robust age verification. That one pisses me off. But other than that, like, what exactly did the courts do? Like, let's see. They got the Roe v. Wade repealed. It's like, okay, if you can bring me the American Constitution and show me where it talks about abortion, I will change my mind. But there is no mention of abortion. The only thing that the Roe v. Wade did was to say that there is doctor-patient confidentiality. And that went out the window during the pandemic when people said, your body, my vaccine. Right? Like, literally, it became of public interest to know if people are vaccinated or not. And so, like, the doctor-patient confidentiality went out the window. And this is why Roe v. Wade went out the window as well. So, like, again, like, what exactly did and not to mention, again, the Democrats had Congress, right? They could have passed a law to allow abortion even, like, 2 years after birth or whatever the fuck they want. I don't know. But they could have passed a law to do that, right? Like, this is not something that's, oh my goodness, the Supreme Court snuck up on us. You want Marco Rubio for 2028? He is a funny guy. Insane Linguist, thank you for another 100 Chechen. What type of currency is that? Chechen, Kazakhstan. Remember, Dev's takes on Ruby Ridge. If you displease the government, you deserve everything it throws at you. All within the state, nothing outside the state, nothing against the state. Actually, that cop would probably get off with our qualified immunity bullshit. No, I don't think that cop would get off, man. Like, if you actually have... No, seriously. Like, in any nation around the world, I don't think there's an exception. Even in China. If you have a mass shooter, right? And he is, like, at the window and he is shooting people. And while he's doing that, the police flies a drone and it explodes and kills innocents. And it's on camera. And, like, you can't deny it. They can't cover it up. There will be hell to pay. Because the public would be enraged, right? Like, imagine you're the guy that's strapped next to that individual, right? Like, you're not doing anything, you're cowering, you're afraid, and all of a sudden you explode. Why? Because the police tried to take the guy that's next door. I mean, right? No, there is no... like maybe the only time like this is kind of justified is when they send a SWAT team, right? So like in Russia, for example, there were cases where terrorists had hostages, and the SWAT team enters, and because of the chaos, some of the hostages get shot. Well, like, yes, but then you can say that, well, they didn't want to shoot the hostages. They were, it was the heat of battle, chaotic, whatever. But when you fly a drone, you know that it's going to do collateral, right? Like, you are 100% sure that using an explosive in a packed building is going to hit other people. And so, like, it's different. Because when you send, like, the guys, there's still the human element. Like, there's a chance that maybe they won't, right? They will hesitate, training, blah, blah, blah. And even then, right? Like, even then, like, after they send guys to rescue hostages, if hostages get shot, there will be questions. It's like, was there really nothing else you could have done? But yes, no, they do not get immunity. UK cops, I bet only the male cop will face consequences. That's probably true. From all I have seen, nothing happens to cops unless there is political will behind it. But yeah, but like there were... Oh, come on, dude. Like, have you not seen the Black Lives Matter protests? Like, a lot of things can happen to cops. I mean, is it the cop that kneeled on George Floyd? Right? Like, what are you talking about? No, like, things happen to cops. It depends on what country, of course. Like, in the UK, not so much. Like, if we're talking about UK, different country, different policies, right? Although, like, again, no cop has used explosives like that. And I've seen talks. I've seen talks about cops using a robot that explodes. And most people were against it for the exact reason that I'm mentioning. It's like, dude, you endanger other people. Like, the purpose of a cop is not just to take out the bad guy, but it's also to protect and serve. And at least in theory, right? The Supreme Court said that the president has partial immunity because they tried to imprison Trump to stop him from running for president. Partial immunity for politicians prevents the banana republic stuff. Well, it's also like this. Look, let's say that you have a guy that's guilty, right? Like a serial killer, a mass murderer, a pedophile. I don't fucking care, right? A pedophile, right? You have like this guy, convicted pedophile. Everyone knows he did it. It's not a question. It's not up for debate. But he runs for president, right? Now, if the people vote for him, and I'm using pedophilia because, like, I know it's the worst crime imaginable, right? So, like, if for the worst crime imaginable it's possible, then for all the others should also be possible. If for some reason people vote for him still, there must be a reason why people do it, right? Like, you do not have, like, all the people becoming immoral. Like, if the people vote for a criminal, if they vote for Barabbas, okay? Barabbas gets to walk. And the reason for it is not, like, a moral reason. It's a judicial reason. The president has the ability to pardon, right? The pardoning comes from the will of the people. Like, the people get to decide what the law in the land is. And the people say that, yes, he broke the law, but we choose not to punish him. And they vote the guy, then he should be president. That's how a democracy should work. I don't think that this should be an exception. If the people, like, and by the way, like, imagine what this means, right? Like, you're running a presidential campaign from prison. Like, that's fucking insane, right? So, like, your opponent, he gets to go on talk shows, he gets to show up, he gets to do all those things, right? And you're running your campaign in prison. You know what I think happens? Like, and the reason I gave the argument as a pedophile here is because, first of all, the Epstein thing, right? It's like Trump went to Epstein. It's like, okay, let's assume that he was convicted for that. The only way that a guy can win from prison is if people have so much disdain and disgust for the establishment that they're willing to vote that guy. Okay? And if that is the situation, that's not a failure of the system. It's the failure of the establishment. Like, the establishment decided to run with a person that's so unpopular that even a criminal managed to defeat him. And if that is the will of the people, yes, I think that Barabbas should be president. Stop paying attention to the leaf. You will be happier. I usually don't pay attention to the lip. Check DMs for QI details. Okay, let me check the DMs. What is qualified immunity? Qualified immunity is a judge-created doctrine that protects police officers and government officials from being held accountable when they violate people's rights. Okay, sure. But again, if you use a drone and you blow up innocent people, I don't think even qualified immunity helps you, because the judge himself would be scared. Like, we're talking about a Derek Chauvin level event, right? Like, people would be so out. Like, I guarantee to you, like, all the leftists would be on the street. So no, I don't think like qualified immunity would apply in that situation. I'm not saying like police officers can't abuse their. Of course they do abuses it, but I don't think it applies to if you were to fly a drone in a residential building. If I was running for president from prison during a broadcast, I would say, kids, one day, if you play your cards right, you might be where I am. Well, okay, there were several times in history where people from prison actually did run for president. There's nothing in America to prevent them, right? So one of the time was actually during World War I believe. Or was it World War II? The U.S. actually had the Department for Censorship, right? They had the Ministry of Censorship during the war. And stuff that they would censor was letters that soldiers would send, obviously. But they would also censor the news, right? And they would also censor any type of dissent against the war effort. So this guy ran for... this is when you have the saying, crying fire in a crowded theater. Which is a retarded saying, because if you cry fire in a theater, like, usually what happens is not that people panic. Like, some of us, where? Right? Like, people aren't really that retarded. But anyway, the whole cry fire on the crowded theater happened during the World War. And there was a guy that ran from prison because he genuinely hated this whole abuse that the government was having during the war effort. He lost, but like he ran, and it implies that he could have won, right? World War I. Black Twitter is sending death threats to whom? Anyway, Black Twitter is sending death threats every single time. It's what Black Twitter does, isn't it? I mean, am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong. I think I'm correct on this. Hold on. Let me see if I can look at Twitter to see if I have a chat. Oh, I do have chat. I got Mike Savage. I got Azriel Jaffe. I think some people don't open the stream fully while watching, or most are just hanging out on YouTube. Probably. By the way, there was this guy. Oh my fucking god! Like today, there was this guy, and he says he really hates the fact that he has to agree with the guy he dislikes, which is me. And someone asked, well, why do you dislike V? It's like, well, because V disagreed with me on anime, and it was like death and coffins. And the other guy is like, well, I mean, does V hate you? And he's like, I don't know, we have to ask V. And I basically said, dude, I don't know who the fuck you are. And I'm not even lying. It's like, I genuinely do not know who he is. And he tried to remind me. It's like, well, back when I debuted as a VTuber, we had the... I don't know you. Right? So I was in a very awkward position. It's like, Satanic Panic was also in the 90s. Oh my fucking god. That is true. Yes. Satanic Panic. Such an American thing. Like, my god. See, like, this is what I don't understand. Eastern Europe is a lot more Christian than America. Like, we almost had the theocracy here, right? We did not Satanic Panic ever. We don't burn witches. We don't, like... It's kind of funny, like, the church didn't prosecute gay people. Do you know who actually prosecuted gay people in Eastern Europe? The Soviet Union. Like, when the communists came, they locked gay people up. Up until then, I mean, like being gay, it wasn't something. It was usually. Like Karl Marx put it best. It was bourgeoisie degeneracy. Being gay. Like, gay people were usually politicians, actors, monks. We have a writer, Mircea Eliade. Mircea Eliade, in order to write, he went to a monastery and he found out that the monks were loving each other too much. That's in his writings. Like, that's way before I was born, during the interbellic period. But still, it was funny. Anyway, right, so, but like the church didn't lock them up in prison. It's only when the communists come up that they start locking gay people. The U.S. had Christian fundies. No, I do understand they had Christian fundies, but like we had the Orthodox Church. Like, just so you can understand, okay? Just so you can understand how Christian Romania is. When we fast, like there are times for fasting. Before Christmas, I think, right? Like before Easter, right? When you fast, menus in restaurants change. Okay, like, can you understand this, Americans? Like, this is what a Christian nation looks like. When people are fasting, like, you go to a restaurant and you have like menu for fasting. They even like have like bakeries and shit, and they start making like, this is food for fasting, and it never touched anything that has to do with animals. Like, we had debates if honey is allowed. Yeah, you have fast menu. So like when you're fasting, you have like two options. Well, it depends on the fast, right? But it's usually vegan food. That's what fasting means. It's vegan food, but it has to make sure that it was prepared in a way that it never touched any animal product. And then you have deslegare alla pesce, where you're allowed to eat fish, right? So you have like, now you can eat meat, but only fish. And there are restaurants that literally, like, when it's time to fast, like, they have fish menus, like, specifically designed, because they know people come there and they fast. And it's not vegan, like, that's the important thing, right? Like, this is not something that's now with the trend. Like, we don't even respect veganism. It's more like, this was always the case. Like, when my grandmother was young was the case, right? Like, when you're fasting, like, when it was the time to fast, restaurants just changed their menu. And it wasn't because they were forced. It was because simply they couldn't sell the meat. Like, the meat would rot. People would go in there and they would not order it. Because everyone was fasting. Okay, so that's a Christian nation. And despite that, we never had the satanic panic. Like, this is what boggles my brain. It's like, satanic panic. Like, what the fuck? Do you have the satanic church in Romania? No, we don't. But like, the satanic church is a reaction to shit like the satanic panic. It's like, oh, you're panicking over that? Well, let's give you something to panic then. No, like, you usually get excesses that stem from other excesses. For America, religion is a thing that they can use to moralize other people about it and feel like the good person. Yes, I honestly feel that way. For Eastern Europe, religion is something for you and your family, right? It's like, the way that an Orthodox priest would explain it is that we make the light, we make the building, and when the faithful are ready, they come to us. Which is why the Orthodox faith isn't a really big religion, because it doesn't aggressively proselytize. Anyway. Veganism is just another virtue signal. Yes. Can you pull up some picture of what food people bring to church so the chat can get an idea? Yeah, so before... Let me see. Before the fasting is over, people actually bring their food into the church in order to sanctify it. Like, again, another thing that... Like, I noticed that the West, especially like Christian nationalists and stuff, like, they completely dry Christianity of mysticism. Like, there is no more room for mysticism, right? The thing is, like, Christianity has, I guess, a philosophy, right? Isn't necessarily bad. I mean, it has its ups and downs, as all philosophies do. But if you do not believe in the afterlife, if you genuinely do not believe in, the judgment after you die, then the whole point of religion stops having meaning. It's not a religion then, it's just another ideology, right? Like, the reason Christianity and religion worked is because people were thinking that their actions, like if you spend all day doom scrolling on Twitter and attacking other people and being like Melanie Matt and calling gay people fagots, Jesus, I don't think he would have called gay people fagots, like, there is a way to approach sinful individuals without trying to demean them and insult them and just, like, I'm just saying. But anyway, the idea is that you genuinely think that you are going to end up in front of God's judgment and answer. It's like, okay, so why did you call them fagots? Did I ask you to, were you kind? Were you compassionate when you did it? And you probably, like, if religion is true, then you can't lie to God. You would be genuinely honest. And I don't think, like, people who do that is because, like, they feel compassionate. And no, I think, like, they do it for the crowd. They do it for the belonging. They do it to impress others. Melanie Mac is just an example. But, like, you know what I mean, right? Like, if Christianity is genuinely true, then there is life after death. And if there is life after death, you would be more worried about your soul than, the meta-narrative of society. You'd be more worried, it's like, okay, can I get to heaven and can I take my family there? But Christian nationalism, the one that's presented to me on Twitter, has removed mysticism completely. Like, there is no more spirituality. It's just Jesus with guns. Which, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, so, like, in Romania, when you have the fasting, they bring the food to the church. The priest sanctifies the food, and then they take it home. And again, like, this is how much people believe, right? Like, in order to do this, you must genuinely, unironically believe. I go to church because my wife goes to church, and our son is baptized. But, like, even I don't go with food there, right? Because I'm not a believer. But the people that do genuinely believe, and they don't satanic panic. Be the Soviet Union, imprison gays, druggies, and people who don't work en masse. Fast forward 30 years, and your ideology gets shilled by gays, druggies, and people who don't want to work. I never understood that. Like, when I saw that bald chick during the March for Our Lives event, right? She was literally a bald chick, non-binary, with a Che Guevara t-shirt. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, Che Guevara would shoot you personally. Do you know what Che Guevara thought about gay people? By the way, guys, do you know what Che Guevara thought about gay people? Let me show you. So, the interesting thing is that almost every single LGBT activist likes Che Guevara. Like, this, I generally don't know why, though. I mean, I guess he's maybe like their version of Pinochet, right? But, again, this is from Wikipedia, so I'm not going on some esoteric website. And you can see here, during Guevara's time in Algeria, he was interviewed by poet Juan Goytisolo inside the Cuban embassy. During the interview, Guevara noticed a book by openly gay Cuban writer Virginio Pinera sitting on the table next to him. Che Guevara grabbed the book and threw it against the wall and yelled, "How dare you have in our embassy a book by this fouled fagot?" Like, listen, right? This is the quote that like, it's not that he was a little bit homophobic. Is that he couldn't even be in the presence of a book. Like, his embassy was sacred, and because the thing is that the book wasn't even advocating people to be gay. It was that the writer happened to be gay, right? So, like, this is the level of homophobia we're talking about. Like, this goes beyond, I don't even know, Melanie Mac level, right? It's not like Che Guevara didn't like gay people. It's not like Che Guevara, no, like, he couldn't tolerate the presence of a book written by a gay man, it was poetry, right? Like, it wasn't, it was just poetry. He couldn't handle that in his embassy. And then you see gay people today wearing the Che Guevara t-shirt. Like, it's just, I don't even know what to say about that. What can you say about that? So fucking bizarre, man. I mean, yeah, like, they wear Che Guevara t-shirts not because he's cool. It's because belonging, right? It's like identifiable symbols. But again, it's kind of like Jewish people wearing Hitler Youth uniform. You know, it wouldn't make sense. It's like, what are you doing? Why? It's kind of like, you know what the best example is? An Armenian woman wearing the Young Turks t-shirt. Like, the Young Turks orchestrated the Armenian genocide. I'm not kidding. Like, that's how the political party was called. Not the TV show. No, sorry, not the news, the Young Turks. No. Like, there was the political party, the Young Turks, and they orchestrated the Armenian genocide. So imagine what it would be like today to have an Armenian woman working at an organization called the Young Turks. Like, this is the level of wearing Che Guevara t-shirts. I do wonder, though, like, how the fuck did that happen? How the fuck did that happen? But seriously, like, I always wondered, right? Because, like, when I saw the Young Turks, I was like, okay, I mean, that's fine, you know, because as a Eastern European, we don't care that much about symbols. Like, obviously, you know, they're not celebrating the Young Turks because of the Holocaust. It's, they might be, you know, like, celebrating some reforms that the Young Turks did, you know, because, like, they didn't do only bad things. And the guy is a Turk, you know, like, maybe he's got relationships from that descend from that party, you know, the fuck. And I see, like, what he's doing, and he's got, like, this cool chick over there, and then I find out she's Armenian, and I was like, really? No fucking way. No fucking way. Like, is she? And so it's like, how did that happen? And my thought was that maybe she doesn't know. Like, maybe she doesn't know, right? Like, there's no fucking way. It's like, or maybe she pays her a lot. Like, that's another question. Like, how the fuck do you get... No, like I'm trying to understand how you would get to that point. Right? It's like, okay, so, like, this political party tried to wipe your people off the map. Like, it wasn't that they wanted to conquer you. Like, no, they wanted you gone as a people, right? And this guy names his institution. And you work for him. I mean, okay, sure. I mean, well, that's open-minded. At first, I thought maybe that's part of the joke. But then I saw that Cenk Uygur was criticizing the Washington Redskins. And I was like, Cenk, no, really? Really, the Washington... You have a problem with the name. You Cenk Uygur, you have a problem with the name, the Washington Redskins. It offends you. I mean... Well, crazier things have happened, right? Cenk has even praised the Young Turks in front of her. I mean, what is she going to do? She's going to sit there and take it like a bitch, right? Because you're getting paid. And I assume she's getting paid quite a lot of money, so... The thing, though, with Anna is that she's one of the people that can actually branch off. Like, she can become a Hassan Piker. She can actually go on Twitch and start streaming and people would watch her. You know, like, she can do something that many others can't. Like, for example, what was the name of that Washington Post chick? Fuck. The one that docs clips of TikTok, right? Like, that chick can't go independent. Elisa Mercante can't go independent. But Anna Kasparian can. Like, Anna Kasparian, in my opinion, if she went independent, she should have done it like 5 or 6 years ago when she was more young. But if she does it now, she could probably be as popular as Hassan. Yeah, like Taylor. Yeah. Right. Taylor Lorenz. That was her name. Shit. I forgot, man. It's like, oh, goodness. social taboo becomes irrelevant after 100 years. That's why Anna can associate with the Young Turks. Do you think that if I make an organization that's called Emperor Hadrian Faithful, right? So like let's say like this, Emperor Hadrian, right? So I'm making this organization. How many Jewish people do you think would work for me? You don't know who Emperor Hadrian is. Okay, I will just give you one lecture in history, and we will end the stream with it. So let me see. This is historical, okay? This is not a meme or a joke. This is stuff that actually happened.
Meanwhile, the Jews were at it again, about to throw yet another revolt.
Okay, question. Do you know what he renamed Judea after the campaign? He named it Palestine. By the way, watching people use AI to dunk on the new god of war was so funny. It is. But no, like going back to what I was saying, imagine if I had the network, a TV show or something, Glory to Emperor Hadrian. How many Jewish people do you think would work for me? Well, none. Because they have self-esteem, right? Like they actually yeah. I have to delete my live stream? Hopefully not, though. I hope not. The Hadrian. The thing is, like, historically, Hadrian was a pretty chill guy. He was more of a philosopher emperor. But, yeah. Named your new province after the eternal enemy of that people. Well, I mean, he was a little bit upset. They are still mad. I mean, I would be. Wouldn't you? Anyway, right, chat. Thank you for watching this. I appreciate it. Guys from Twitter, I hope you like it as well. And as usual, we'll see you in the comment section. Take care.